Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in my lab, in the book. It is the wee hours in the morning, just like I like it. I'm about to teach. I got a good lesson for you today. We're going back to the book. We're going to talk about the development of European secret societies. Masons, Rosicrucians, all those guys, Illuminati. Let's talk about that. I got some information for you. Let's go. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through, because yeah, that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right? Thinkers know thyself and to my yacht be true. Boy, I'm in the book deep. I done went down this damn non-violent civilization, contributing to civilization rabbit hole, and I can't get out. So here we are. See this guy here? We know him in Egypt as Tahuti, or they call him Thos. The Greeks call him Hermes Trismegistus. But you see here, he got the world in his hand. He understands what's going on. He got the staff right there. So this is the guy, and they call it Druids. Okay, they left Egypt when all hell broke loose. They started getting invaded. They took their stuff on the road, and they ended up in Ireland. Got a story about the Druids. They call them the Snake People. When the islands ran out, the Druids, they people thought they were getting rid of actual snakes. No, they was getting rid of Druids, the snakehead people, while they wore the Uranus on their skull hat. All right, let's talk about the development of European secret society. Got some good stuff here. All right, one of the most I just showed you a picture of Hermes Trismegistus. Tahuti and the Egyptians were known to Europeans as Hermes. They changed the name again, thank you, Greeks, to Hermes Trismegistus. Trismegistus means to be thrice great, three times great. And what they was trying to tell you symbolically, you got three states of consciousness. In your thought process, which is Tahuti, he's great in every aspect of your consciousness. That was the lesson that they was trying to, convey. But they didn't teach the masses. They only taught the elite. They thought only the elite and intelligent people should know this knowledge. Everybody should privy to this. I'm a Mason. I feel like everybody should be a Mason. Teach that at home. Teach them at home. I told my man, dude, really? Really? Okay. I gave my son a Masonic lesson. He don't have a clue. But he know more masonry than most people who are Masons. Why? He got understanding and knowledge of himself. That's why I used it that way symbolically to teach life lessons. That's what it's intended for. Works perfect. Trust me. If it's done correct, it's a beautiful thing. I'm one. All right. And it changed my life personally early. All right. I'm over here. No. Tahuti was known as to the Europeans as Hermes Trismegistus. All right. I gave you the breakdown. That means thrice great. He was a philosopher. He was a priest and king. He was regarded as the god of wisdom. I was told a long time ago, take that name. No, it's symbolic. I don't need the damn name. I got a name, P-Funk. I don't need to be Tahuti. My student, I call him that. He's how you know. I said, because you learned. You became knowledgeable. That's what the mind is all about. That's what Tahuti represents. And he was a god of wisdom, science, medicine, magic, measurements, mathematics, and he is said to have authored innumerable books of these and the other subjects. So he was the man. Okay. Masons, which I want, regard him as the author of all Masonic initiatory rituals. I mean, he wrote the rituals for the Masonic order. I know a little something different about that, and I ain't going there right now, but Patel is the craftsman. Okay, moving on. Hermes is said to have been the author of 42 books in which contained the wisdom of ancient Egypt. Mayat, 42 declarations of Mayat. That's what they're talking about. But a lot of people get the story with Tahuti and Mayat as consorts. I done heard it. I don't advocate that. Why? I know better. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let you tell me something that I know. I don't care what you think. Don't make a difference to me. When I know what I know, it ain't changing. So no. Mayat, singular, never had a mate, never had a consort. Tahuti, the same thing. No. Matter of fact, Tahuti got Sachet as a mate. So that don't work anyway. So moving on, this is all stuff I just got information just running around. But now, according to my Masonic man, Manly P. Hall, he's the Masonic expert. And the Romans and later the Christians realized what? That until these books were eliminated, meaning they had to get that information out of circulation. Why? It's messing with their hustle. What hustle? Christianity. Moving on. Religion. All right. But they could not bring the Egyptians into subjection. Okay? They couldn't stop them. They're like, you tell me to stop right thinking. Nope. Do what you got to do. I ain't going to stop. Malcolm, Martin, Socrates, Jesus, anybody who helped the people, they killed them. Okay, well, I'm in line. I don't give a damn. What? I'm doing what I'm going to do. I understand what their point was. I don't know if I'm going to still, but little bit of people I'm getting in touch with, they ain't even worried about me. I don't count, so I'm all right. I ain't going to worry with that nonsense. All right. But we have books, what they call Hermetic sciences. The Hermetic principles, what we live by right now, were said to contain information regarding the Egyptians, what? Understanding of immortality. We knew how to get to immortality. Pay attention, here we go. Which was based on, you ready? Knowledge, not belief. I told my pastor, dude, I found God through knowledge. I didn't get him through praying. I didn't get him through I got him through working, studying, implementing the things I learned from my ancient ancestors. And when I got there, he was already there. So he got his from the Bible. I ain't got no problem with that. Okay, the Bible gets you there too if you know how to use it. Again, but it's done with knowledge that the body is the tomb or the temple for the soul. Your choice. You get to make the decision. That's what Mayat represents. And during the Greco-Roman occupation of Egypt, what happened? The soldiers formed what they called a secret body for specialized scholarship and training in the Hermetic principles in science. They became known as, you ready? The Druids. What did Druid mean? And later they moved from Egypt, so I do my homework, to Greece and Rome before establishing a school where? In Ireland. Hey, yeah, that's us. Them little guys, the leprechauns, they was Druids first. But let's talk about that. So that was the breakdown of the concept of them finding knowledge. Everybody knows Egypt is the place what? To get knowledge. Moving on. It wasn't the most sacred, holy place. No, it was the place of knowledge, of learning. God needs to be known through what? Knowledge, not fake belief and superstitions that y'all been getting served, and you wonder why you ain't reaching it. Moving on. All right, let's get the lesson started. I don't waste a lot of time. I ain't got to the lesson. Sorry about that. But let's start with the development of the European secret society. I'm trying to set you up. It's going to be a nice little lesson, a few pages, so it's going to be a minute. All right. But one of the most enduring aspects of Nile Valley civilization was what they call the proliferation of its scientific and philosophical thoughts, which became known outside of Kemet to the world as the mystery schools or the Hermetic principle or the science of Hermetic science. Okay, we started that. And remember, Tahuti is God's mind. Everything comes from the mind of God. So Tahuti represents that. He ain't a real person. He ain't the king of Atlantis. All that. Calm down. Leave that alone. Get out of there. See, I do a lot of watching other people who do what I do. I'm a teacher, so I watch other teachers. I see my man with the symbol, the book of wisdom. That's my dude. Why? He know just what I know, and everything he's saying, I know everything. I said the same thing. So I know I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. Someone else is doing it here on the big scale. Okay, but the same information. I got the same knowledge. Okay, but known to people outside of Kemet was called the mystery school. Remember, Egyptian what? Mystery system, the education system. We didn't let everybody in. We didn't invite invaders. No, no, no. It's a mystery to them. Like the Masonic Order. I'm a Mason. I know what everything's going on inside the Masonic Order. Somebody who not don't know nothing about what they stole, what they heard, stories. Okay, a bunch of nonsense. I laugh at that's they really playing games with y'all. But that's how it is. But from the earliest of times, the masses of Europeans were poor and ignorant. We had universities, we got thousands of students, we enlightening people by the droves, and they still in the dark. Pay attention, this is the Europeans. While only the most fortunate men, aka noblemen, the nobleman was educated. You're a nobleman, remember, okay, not remember, in Masonic Order, we call it symbolic concept. We use our knowledge for what we call a more noble and glorious purpose for ourselves to better ourselves, which I agree 100%. No arguments with that. Okay, the concept. But remember, noblemen, lords, scribes, and various religious leaders were provided with in higher education. That's why I don't panic when my numbers are low to view. This ain't for everybody. I know that. So I'm comfortable in there. And it's always been that way. I wonder why everybody don't know this. Oh, this ain't for everybody. The more I'm starting to understand that. Y'all do yourself an injustice. So the few who get light, come on, why? It ain't gonna be a whole bunch of us. I can tell you that right now. We all start out down here. Ain't many of us up here. That's for a reason. Moving on. But education is the key. Our people, my people will be destroyed for what? Lack of knowledge. We've been doing this for over 2,000 years, and we still ain't making obtaining knowledge of self, becoming self-mastery a priority. I'm the only one doing that nonsense because you think everybody want to be, yeah, okay, but yeah, I've been laughed at, mocked, and scorned, but I'm doing what I think is best for what? Anybody who want to know themselves. That's it. Moving on. A teacher teaches. That's all I'm going to do. And of this group, an even smaller number knew how to what? Adequately read or write. Remember, they was illiterate. The Europeans didn't know nothing. We were educators. So they project us as the all that nonsense. No, y'all didn't have a clue. But and again, the dogma, right there. Dogma. I don't like dogma. Of Christianity was readily available. What? For who? The masses, the ignorant. Right there. They telling you the dogma of Christianity was readily available, but the higher education, you had to go to get it. See the difference? Okay, watch this. So the dogma of Christianity was readily available for the masses, the ignorant of people, while the educated and elite studied the ancient teachings, which were also called gnosis or true knowledge. See where I'm going with this? This is teaching. I'm trying to make a point to show you what I'm trying to give you. It ain't bad or wrong. It's just a fact. They hid it. They didn't want you to have it. Why not? What kind of people don't want other people to be their best selves? What they say about that kind of people. I don't like them kind of people. World's full of them. But the newly emerging schools of Hermetic, Neoplatonic, and Gnostic thoughts in Europe were loosely based on all the Nile Valley principles of education. They didn't create nothing, they didn't start nothing, they just stole ours, like everybody else did, which were designed to what? You ready? To awaken an individual with what? Knowledge of self. That's the foundation I'm building off right here. This is my whole thesis. We need to do this. This knowledge led to an awareness of the powers of God, okay, which exists within man, not somewhere up in heaven, not somewhere around, no, in you, again, as expressed in the myth of Asar. This Asar Haru is the story about me and you. Our father being God, his brother kills him. We, his offspring, got to what? Not let the brother who killed our father kill us. Symbolically. Story of life. Okay? And this philosophy and principle concept was in direct conflict with Christianity. So the Christians say they didn't steal our story. They didn't steal our philosophy. No. Y'all made up your own and want to discredit ours to make y'all's. And right now we got a whole bunch of Christians. The number one religion is Christianity. They've been doing this for a long time. Okay? And right now, we as a people, we lost as we ever was. We ain't conscious worth of crap. And those who are conscious, we looked at as strange, funny, or, they on that other stuff. I've been told that Egyptian shit, okay? I'm still teaching and practicing that Egyptian shit. But y'all still practicing Christianity. I'm doing fine. And for you Christians who doing fine with Christianity, I got a problem with you. But how many of y'all doing fine? Moving on. Everybody practice philosophy of ancient Egypt doing just fine in their life. Why? They practicing it. They living it. That's how it's supposed to be done. Christians, y'all just tearing it up, okay? Which taught what? Christianity taught that man was conceived in sin. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You are born sinners. The penalty for sinners from God is death. Y'all born to die. Yeah, y'all going right to death. Why? Because you're sinners. Knowing God makes you what? Oh, good person. We've been telling you that for the longest. Hello? Sorry. And that salvation could only be gained through Jesus Christ. No, Jesus the Christ. No, Christ ain't his last name. Christ is what he was. The anointed, the light. I know what it is. I know Christ better than y'all do. Okay? But the Pope or other accepted intermediaries, one example of this clash between these opposing ideologies. You can have yours. I got mine. I'm not trying to dispense yours, disrespect or discredit yours, but I got mine. I'm good. Moving on. It can be found by studying the symbolisms that's incorporated in the story of St. Patrick and the Jewess of Ireland. The story goes, St. Patrick came and ran the snakes out of Ireland. Those was people, the Jews, the Egyptians who left Egypt, went to Greece, ended up in Ireland. Had changed their identity, changed their name, but they kept their what? Principles and philosophies that they lived by. Took that with them. They didn't change. Every people who got slaves, they still kept what? Their religion, their faith, and they belief in what their God concept. Everybody did the same thing. Moving on. This guy named Peter Tompkins, okay, in his wonderful book, Secrets of the Great Pyramid. Now, these are white people, first of all, writing about us. So understand that. They came in, they always do that. And they give everybody the world idea about us instead of letting us get the world idea about us. Okay. But they provided a clue to this mystery in a brief overview of the Druids. They said Druid in Old Irish meant what? He who knows. In Buddha, to waken up, Buddha means what? To awaken. To awaken to what? To awaken to who you are. They've been doing it forever. Julius Caesar, our earliest source on the subject, considered the Druids highly educated. Everything that came out of Egypt was highly educated. Everybody that went invaded Egypt came out more educated and well organized. Okay? Everybody knew that about us. Moving on. But in the Bella Galicia, he commented, it is especially the object of the Druids to what? Incalculate this. Their souls do not perish. This is the belief from the Druids out of Egypt who took their concept with them and they let it be known. This is our belief. But after death, it passes into other bodies. Reincarnation. That's the concept that we always stood on. And they considered what? that by this belief, again, this belief that you believe and you're going to live it and manifest it, I tell you, the power of belief will manifest what you hear. You are what you believe you are, okay? So more than anything else, men may be led to cast away the fear of death. Only the ignorant die. I tell you that all the time. Why? Y'all know yourself. They know that the spirit don't die. We're spiritual beings having human experience. The human part gonna die. That's the physical body. Body of earth, spirit to heaven. But if it ain't enlightened, it ain't going home. It's gonna get another body. That's what they said. I've been telling you that for the last 10 years. All right? And to become what? Courageous in the afterlife. They discuss many points that concerning the heavenly bodies and their motion. The zodiac. Anybody who don't believe in the horoscope of the zodiac, you need to get on board. Why? The zodiac, depending on what you were born, you have a birth date. They can tell you about your character in based on the time you were born, when you were born. They don't give a damn. All that don't mean nothing. I'm a Capricorn. Oh, everything they say about me, I know that. How they know that? I know that because I'm living it. I didn't know I was born a Capricorn. I didn't know none of that. I just know who I was and how I was and how I became. Everything they say about me is me. So if you think them things ain't right, think again. Trust me. Mastering the zodiac is part of mastering oneself too. Okay, I teach you that also. I know the zodiac. But the extent of the universe and the world, the nature of things, that's what you need to understand and know. Those are things that we teach. And when you understand that, you get a full understanding of life and the influence and the ability to what? Immortal gods. And they instruct the youth in these things. They told the young the truth. They started them out with the truth. Unlike us, we lied to them. We give them fairy tales. We give them what the story is supposed to teach. We understand, but they don't really grasp it that way. Why? They're too young. You can give them the truth, but just make sure it's the truth. We give them a bunch of nonsense. Let me wrap this up. The Jewish were also known to dress in a style similar to the priests and kings out of command. That's why I wanted to show you how you look. They pattern themselves. If you want to be like somebody, you dress like them, you walk like them, you talk like them, you act like them. That's mimicking. That's being like, okay? I was like my dad, okay? But their heads were often adorned with what? The uraeus, serpent, okay? Which was the symbol of the cobra that was worn on the crown of the pharaoh. Because of the symbolism and the symbolic imagery, the Jews were often referred to outside as the snake people. People call Masons anything but Masons because they sleep around, they do all their whatever. Everybody got a concept about something that they don't know. That makes something up. Nobody knows what we do in initiation, but everybody tell you. Hey, you ain't been there? No, how you gonna tell me? Don't tell me something you don't know. I can't teach what I don't know. That's the first thing. So I got a problem with people elaborating and espousing on what they don't know. Just say, I don't know. Simple. If you don't, you don't. Don't make it up. My brother told me, well, you can start a new religion. You can start this. And if you don't know, make it up. Dude, I don't operate like that. That's not how I operate. Moving on. That's why we don't do what we do. All right, let me wrap this up. I appreciate it. They call the snake people. And the story goes that St. Patrick rid out another snake people. See? Misinterpretation, misunderstanding. Half of y'all don't know, have a clue with that. Their presence and ideology were viewed as a direct threat to what? The development of Christianity in Ireland. Christianity wanted to be everywhere. They wanted to run everybody and everything. They wanted to control the world. Sound familiar? But they blame it on Illuminati. In 432 ACE, Pope Celestine sent a former British slave named Patrick, to what? Into the region and to convert the population to Christianity. In the name of Christianity, Patrick's army slew, here we go, thousands of Irishmen, and he's said to have founded more than 300 churches in Christian concept and baptized more than 120,000 people. Patrick also introduced what? The Roman alphabet and the Latin literature into Ireland. He was awarded by the Vatican with sainthood, and today millions of people throughout the world celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Ain't that nothing? In his feast on what? March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. The Druid killer, the snake people runner. But into the average person who dresses in green, wears shamrocks, and marches in parades on this day, it commemorates the myth of the man who drove the snake people out of Ireland. Okay? What most people fail to realize is the snakes that St. Patrick drove into the sea, you ready? Were not actual snakes. They crawled on the ground, but the snake people who walked on 2 feet were once known as the Druids. I'm going to stop right there before I get upset. So I'm just cool down for a minute and come back with some more of the history of the Egyptian and European secret societies. We about to get to the Masons. I'm coming to y'all. I'm about to get to y'all too. We got the cathedral building, then we got the Masonic orders. I got you. Oh, right now, right thinkers may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know my right thinker who's getting a good history lesson from your board have passed away. Right now, I'm down the history rabbit hole. I can't help it. I got to get this out the way. I got a few more pages to go. So stay with me. I'll be back. Peace.